so that I can see, but I can see, and I'm sure you can see. Look at that glow. Look at the other side, and look at this. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are doing amazing. Today we are back with another foundation battle. So I went into Sephora a few days ago, and first of all, I didn't even know that Tarte had released a new foundation, but I came across the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Glow and I was immediately drawn to it. I went with a friend and she was actually talking to me about it, and she had it in her hand, and I'm like, I didn't even know that Tarte had a new foundation, and we both swatched it and I'm like, yep, we need to try this. I think this would be so perfect for the summertime, radiant flow, all that good stuff. So as I was thinking in my collection, what product would I want to put beside it to kind of just like compare, but also just see them side to side, and the product that I'll be picking is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I've had this one in my collection for a few months now, I would say. I've used it maybe once or twice, but not enough. So today we're going to be putting these side by side, getting our thoughts and all of that good stuff. So if you would like to see what they look like, get all the tea and information on them, and then ultimately just seeing which I prefer or which looks better, well then you know what to do. Just keep on watching. To get started, I'm going to push the hair back. We are in the process of air drying the curls, so I always want to make sure that I don't mess them up, but we need to get this hair out of the way. So before we get started, I am just going to be applying my trusty Makeup Revolution Blur Stick. This literally makes me laugh every single time I see it because it legit looks like a deodorant, but it works so well as a blurring primer. I am a lover for blurring primers. Honestly, I think that's the only time that I lean for a primer, because hydrating ones I just moisturize, mattifying ones I just use mattifying products, but when it comes to a blurring primer, I do not play around with it, and this one and my Tarte primer are like elite. So I always want to be able to have that as my base. I'll be putting that on both sides. Now let's go into the first product, which is going to be the Tarte one. As always, I do just want to give you guys all the information on it. This retails for $40 hefty, and it is called the Maracuja Juicy Glow Skin Tint. So it's called a skin tint, but then on the bottle itself it says foundation, so very intrigued by that. I picked up the color light medium sand. The highlights on the Sephora website say that it is vegan, it has a radiant finish, it is long wearing, waterproof, cruelty-free, and gluten-free. And it says it's a medium, flexible coverage skin tint that brightens, moisturizes, and smooths. So love, love, love all of those claims. It is a liquid formulation, radiant finish, medium coverage. And lastly, the highlighted ingredients is that it has a maracuja oil, which hence why it's in the name, hyaluronic acid, and it has 10+ super fruits, which add to that brightening and smoothing effect. So enough talking, let's put this on the face. I'm going to be putting it on this side of the face, and I am just going to go immediately onto the skin with it, because honestly that's what I would do when I would wear it. So the first thing I usually like to do is just go in with a brush. So I'm going to be going in with my Morphe X Makeup by Ariel brush, and I'm just going to start applying that all over the face. Now let me get my handheld mirror so that I can see, but I can see, and I'm sure you can see. Look at that glow. Look at the other side, and look at this. So immediately I'm just like, I don't know how this would work on super oily skin, or for those of you who probably prefer a more mattifying product. I do not think that this would be for you, but if you have combination skin and you like that radiant look, or dry skin, I think this would be amazing for you. Honestly, I'm combination, but I do not mind it at all. The only thing is I want to see how it would wear throughout the day in combination with my natural oils when they start to peek out. But this portion of my face usually isn't oily, it's more so the T-zone, so I am going to just make sure that I don't apply that much product. But Honestly, I am loving this finish. It gives such a beautiful radiant glow, which it does claim to have. It does have medium coverage, I can see that, because it did cover and even out my skin tone, but it's not covering every single aspect of it. So I am just gonna bring it down a bit here, and let's just do a little close-up so you guys can see. Now, it also claimed to smooth, and I don't know if I would say it smooths, and I also wouldn't know if necessarily my primer also helped with that, since it is a blurring one. But because it is radiant, you do kind of see some texture. I don't necessarily mind it, but I also don't have that much texture, so I do feel like for someone who has much more textured skin, this might not be something that you would love, just because the radiance, the glow, kind of like that oily look to it might emphasize on that texture. But this is what it looks like thus far. And like I said, I always like to just go in with a sponge and just make sure that everything is nice and evened out. I'm very, very interested to see how this plays with powders and things like that, given that it's such a radiant and glowy base. Now, moving over to the other side, we have a much more affordable option, and that is going to be the Flower Light Illusion Foundation. As I mentioned before, this one retails for $14, so we're talking more than half of the Tarte one. And this one claims to be a lightweight and breathable liquid foundation that effortlessly blends imperfections and uneven skin tone, revealing a flawless, smooth finish. So I'm already seeing that both are claiming to have a smooth finish. This foundation also will provide you a medium to buildable coverage, okay, we like that, to smooth and perfect, while also imparting your skin with the most flattering, soft luminosity imaginable. Like, I am just dreaming with these words. I think that is what I tend to look for spring and summer. You just want like glowy, luminous skin. So super excited about both of those. It says this has a weightless nude skin feel, meaning that it looks natural on the skin, and it perfects uneven skin tones. And lastly, this one has SPF 18 on it. So they both have a lot of beautiful claims, as does this one. So we're gonna do the same thing. Now, this one does come in a pump, so I'm just gonna pump some out. Not that much, we're just gonna do that much. I hope this color matches me, because I found that this was hard to match the colors. I believe I have two to just play around with it. I don't know. I think the color is tawny, so M4. But that's the color that I have. Now this one, because it is a much thicker consistency, I am just gonna dot on here. This color might be a little dark, but we're gonna have to work with it. So I'm just gonna put this onto the skin. So now, the same way like we did with the Tarte one, we're gonna go in first with the brush and just blend that out. Now, immediately looking at it and feeling it, I can definitely tell that this one has more opportunity to build. It feels thicker, and obviously we can see that in that consistency, because the Tarte one is more of a liquid, and this one is also a liquid, but it has a thicker, almost like liquid and cream hybrid formula. So you definitely can build on that one. This color is a little deep for me right now, but it will be the perfect summer shade for me. But let me just look and see. Now, once again, the claim was evening the skin tone, which I can definitely see. Now, I had this scar right on in here, and I wouldn't say it necessarily covered it up. Now, let me just put a little bit more on it just to see how coverage is. It says it's medium coverage, which I can see that, and buildable, so I'm just adding a little bit more of that on top of it just to see if it in fact actually does cover, and it is covering it as I'm adding more. So I believe if you have more like acne scars or just pigment over the face that you do want to cover, this foundation will be able to do it, and you can build up on it. So I really do like that. Now, going in with the sponge, similar to what I did on the other side, but I just want to show you what that looks like right now. And then we'll do the comparison to see them side by side, just to see what are the similarities and differences. Now, these videos, I typically just really want to just put two items that I think are similar, or honestly that I just want to put side by side to see what is similar or what are the differences, and then what are the things that I lean more towards. So this is both foundations on the face. Let's assess. Besides the color, which honestly is not that much of a difference, I just notice it, but besides the color, I would say this side, which is the Flower Beauty side, provides me a bit more coverage than the Tarte one. I feel like the Flower Beauty side provides more coverage, so if you are looking for something that's radiant but that has a bit more coverage, that's a bit more buildable, because they both provide medium, but I would say I can definitely see this one even building up to potentially almost full coverage with adding more products. Like you saw, I didn't use that much just because I didn't really want to put that much, and I do tend to lean more for a medium build. But both, I would say, honestly, are also equally as radiant. As you can see, my skin is literally like glowing, luminous, radiant. And I do like that my face looks even, skin tone looks even. Smoothing aspect, like I said, similar to the Tarte side, because it is radiant, that radiant aspect can emphasize texture. I don't have much texture on my skin, so I cannot like show you guys that specifically, but even just with like the little bumps and things like that that skin naturally has, you can see them, but it's not like overly emphasized. So just something to note there. But overall, I'm really enjoying both. Now, the true test is going to be applying other products on top, seeing how they work with powders, other creams, and things like that. We'll come back, I'll show you my face with all the rest of the makeup on, and then we will give our final thoughts. Makeup is complete and we are back. So let me just show you guys once again. This is the Tarte side. So we set, I use my Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder, which is one of my favorites, to set the face, so you can see where it gets a little bit more mattified right on in here, but we're still seeing that glow. We are still seeing that radiance. And then we come over to the Flower Beauty side, and once again we have that glow, we have that coverage. So if I were to put both side by side as we are right now, I would say they are very, very similar, but you get more with this one for more than half of the price. So if I had to pick one of the two, I only can keep one, I can't have both, I would definitely say I would stick to the Flower Beauty, because it gives the radiance that the Tarte gives, it gives the medium coverage that the Tarte gives, but it also allows you to build the coverage. And I feel like the formula, because it's a little thicker, makes it just a little easier to work with. So it's not as runny and light as this one is. It doesn't feel heavy like a lot of foundations can feel, but literally, like, you're looking at both, the radiance is there on both sides. So if you're looking for a radiant foundation, affordable, I would highly recommend the Flower Beauty. Now, if you, like me, just love to try different products and you do know that you love radiant products, then I also would recommend this one. I don't think this is a bad product. I think it's great, but if we're putting these side by side, $40, $14, I'm going with the $14 Flower Beauty one. And it's not even just necessarily the price range. That's obviously an added bonus, but like, you just get more with this product. And I'm speaking in terms of use, not how much it has, because both of them are 1 fluid ounce, so you're getting the same amount of product. But I just feel like this one you can use in more ways. You can use more full coverage, medium coverage, so you can play around with it more. Alrighty guys, well, that concludes this video, this side-by-side comparison of 2 radiant foundations. I hope that you found it helpful. I'll also try to remember to leave in the description how they wear, because they both do claim to wear well and be long lasting. So we will put those to the test and I'll let you guys know down below. But as of right now, seeing them side by side, I definitely team a Flower Beauty. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!